Sixth grade students, welcome to Pine Richland Middle School. I'm Dr. Christophic, the principal, and through this program, you'll get to meet Mr. Menziger as well. This is our first ever virtual move-up day. We have a lot of information to present to you today. Please sit back, relax, and enjoy. You'll hear about some of the sport opportunities that we have here at the middle school. Some of them new, some of them baseball, basketball, football you've heard about before, but we also have field hockey, cross country, track, boys volleyball, rowing, cheerleading. There's a lot of great opportunities. We hope you take advantage of those. We also have other opportunities that are just as exciting. Yearbook, newspaper club, drama club, National Academic League. There are so many opportunities for you to try something new, and we encourage you to do something you've never done before while you're in middle school. That'll spark the passion and desire to love coming to school every day. So please sit back, learn, and think about all the exciting things you will get to experience in the fall. Welcome again, and I look forward to working with you next year.
Thank you, Dr. Christophic, for that introduction. Welcome, upcoming 7th grade students. My name is Mr. Minsinger, and I will be your assistant principal when you come to the middle school next year. We are so excited to show you this virtual Move Up Day presentation, and we hope that you get a lot out of it. You're going to hear a lot from myself, our guidance counselors, and even some of our students about what it's like to be a middle school student at Pine Richland Middle School. So we always start our presentations with our upcoming students with this slide, and this slide shows you a little bit about what the middle school stands for. We are a part of a program that is called Schools to Watch, and that program is really focused on continuing to become better at what we do. And so that's what we really dedicate ourselves to, and we expect our students to do the same. So just as we as a school and as adults continually work to get better at our jobs, to do the best that we can, we expect you to do the same as you go from class to class next year and from 7th grade to 8th grade. We want you to constantly think about how you can improve as a student so that you can unlock your fullest potential during your time at the middle school and beyond. So throughout this presentation, you are going to see and hear from a variety of different people. Some of those people are going to be students who were in your situation just a few short years ago, and they wanted to share some messages with you about what middle school is like and how it is not scary at all. And so the first thing they wanted to show you is what it's like on that first day of school when you ride the bus to school, you get off on the yellow brick road, and you make your way into the building as a 7th grader for the first time. So I'm going to pass it off to some of our students who are going to show you exactly what it's like in the morning when you get off the bus on that first day. Enjoy.
What's up, future 7th graders? Logan here. You can see that we are on the yellow brick road right now with all the buses. So middle schoolers walk this way, and the high schoolers walk down that way. So if you can't tell, it's pretty wet and it's hard to film here. So we're gonna keep trying to move this fast. Come on, Brandon. So basically you'll come in the morning, if it's not 7:05, you're gonna walk into the gym. And then basically you just kind of wait there until the bell. If you come in late, you're gonna have to go through the front and then get your pass. And then, yeah, self-explanatory. Just like 6th grade, just you're a 7th grader now. All right, let's move inside. All right, here we go. All right, guys, so now whenever you come down this hallway to the gyms, 8th graders go into the tan gym, that's the main gym. 7th graders keep walking down into the auxiliary gym. That's our weight room, that's a nice place. That's where you get buffed. All right, so this is the 7th grade gym.
Hi, 6th graders. My name is Mrs. Millay, and I'm one of the school counselors here at the middle school. If your last name begins with A through K, I will be your school counselor. And here with me, I have the wonderful Eliza Lazaro. She is a 7th grader, and she is here to talk to you about the biggest differences between Eden Hall and the middle school. So take it away, Eliza.
So I would say the biggest difference at the middle school is probably having a combination on your locker, and having your locker, it's not always going to be by your classes. And the combination can be a little bit hard at first, but after a few weeks, it gets pretty easy. And then having your locker at like different, with your classes at different places around the school, it gives you a lot more responsibility to get there on time, but then it also gives you a lot more freedom. And then also at the middle school, instead of being split into 4 biomes, it's split into 3 teams. So, and then some of the classes are split in teams, so this helps you see your friends a lot more.
Thanks, Eliza.
Thank you, Mrs. Millay and Eliza. I'm back to give you a little bit more information about things to be excited about when it comes to the middle school. So, not surprisingly, Pine Ridgeland Middle School has a lot to offer you all as upcoming 7th graders. You can look forward to making new friends and meeting new people on the teams that you're on. We definitely offer more independence as you get older. So more of the responsibilities of school become things that you as the student are responsible for, more so than your parents. We also offer a lot of different classes, and you get the chance to meet and interact with a lot of different teachers throughout your year and throughout actually both years that you're at the middle school. And of course, you'll be learning new things and exploring new ideas as we continue to teach you all some more complicated things as you get older. Now, we know that as much as it's exciting, it's also nerve-wracking to come to a new school. And the message we want to send loud and clear to you all is that you are not alone in this experience. So here's a sneak peek at some of the things you can expect with your classes. Each class will be in a different room. So you'll have, as a 7th grader, you'll have your core subjects for English, math, science, social studies, and reading. You'll also have some unified arts classes that consist of art, business class, family consumer science, and a tech class that'll expose you to some things like robotics and mechanical work. And we know that you're going to have a busy schedule, so it's important for you to get involved, but to also prioritize those commitments that you have, both to the things you have to do in school and to those activities that you commit yourself to outside of school. And of course, with a new school, there are some new rules to become familiar with. And so you'll see in this presentation, which you can go to, you can click on our student handbook, and this will take you to this year's student handbook. We don't have next year's uploaded just yet, but it'll be on the website as soon as it is approved and ready to go. And you'll see an interactive version that you can flip through. There's a table of contents as well as a lot of information about what you can expect at the middle school.
Hi, 6th graders. My name is Mrs. Mastrangelo, and I am one of the school counselors at the middle school. I am here with Ava Means, a current 7th grader, and Ava's going to talk about what the typical day looks like at the middle school. So Ava, what does a typical day look like for the 7th graders?
A typical day for 7th graders is pretty simple if you really think about it. Your bus will arrive around 7:30 to 7:45, and it just depends on how many stops you have or what time your bus comes. Once you get to the school, you just go to your locker, get your stuff. You can socialize, but I recommend putting your stuff in your homeroom classroom before you go socialize. You can see kids from different teams. You can go to the library. There's just a bunch of stuff to do. Then the warning bell rings at 7:40, which means you should probably go to your class so you're not late, because if you're not in there by 7:45, you are considered tardy. You will then watch the morning announcements, which are very entertaining, and then the bell will ring and you get to go to first period. I bring my first period stuff to homeroom because it's just easier, so I can go straight there. After first period, you have second period, which is either band, chorus, or orchestra, or academic support. After that, you go to third period. I recommend bringing your third period stuff to second period, so that way you can just go straight there, especially if you're in band, chorus, or orchestra. After third period, you have fourth period, and I also bring my fourth period stuff to second and third period because I always had trouble getting to fourth period from whatever I had. You'll go to fourth period, and then fifth period, kids start to have lunch depending on what team you're on. Team A has lunch during fifth period, team B has lunch sixth period, and team C has lunch seventh period. I was on team C, so I had lunch seventh period, so I went to fifth and sixth period, and I was really excited. Lunch is my favorite part of the day because I get to eat and you get to talk to all your friends. And you don't have to raise, and even though you had to raise your hand to get up, you don't have to raise your hand to get up, you just go. After seventh period, you go to eighth period, and all the periods are just kind of the same. You have 3 minutes between classes. You go get your stuff and you just continue. Then you have ninth period, the last period of the day, and you'll finish ninth period and the bell will ring. You don't need to wait for people to dismiss you. Like, they don't call you and say, like, team C, you're dismissed. You just go. After ninth period, you just go to your locker, pack up, and you're allowed to just leave. And that's basically a simple day at Pine Richland. It's really fun, I promise. You'll do great.
Awesome. Thank you, Ava.
Thank you, Mrs. Mastrangelo and Ava, for giving us an overview of what a day in the life looks like as a seventh grader. Now, going into the rest of this presentation, we know there are a couple things that make a lot of kids nervous when they come to the middle school. One of those things is opening a locker with a combination for the first time. And the other thing is making sure that you know that you can get to classes on time given the 3 minutes that you have between classes. And so I can tell you as much as till I'm blue in the face, really, about how easy it is to open your locker combination lock after a few times of trying it, or to take my word for it that you can get to class within 3 minutes and not be late. But me telling you that only does so much. So we had a couple students create some videos last year to show each of those things in action. And so right now you're going to see 2 videos. The first one is a competition with some of our kids about how quickly they can open their locker using the combination lock. And then the second video is a race around the school to show that you can really get around the school easily within the 3 minutes that you have to get from class to class. So sit back and relax and watch some of our students show you what it's like to open a locker and to get to class on time.
Yo, sixth graders, today we have the green team and the white team. They sound enthusiastic. All right, so this is the locker race. So basically there's gonna be a ruler in each of the lockers. We have had written the combinations. So I'll give one to you, Colton. I'll give one to you, John. You guys can go pop those in. All right, guys, so the rules work. The ruler's gonna be in here. The first person takes it out. They're gonna put it in the next locker, hand it off. Then the third person takes it out, and then they get the victory. Okay, go ahead. So guys, the way you open up a locker, so the code is 11, 17, and 11. So first you're gonna head down to the number 11. You're gonna spin it past the 17, come back again, stop on the 17, then turn it right back to the 11. You've opened up a locker.
The game starts in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's get started. Come on.
All right, guys, let's see who's going up first. We have John on the white team, we have Colton on the green team. Looks like they're starting off strong.
John taking it slow and steady. Colton looks like going at the same pace. And John gets his locker open first. Then Colton. It's neck and neck right now. Colton hands the ruler off to PJ, also on the green team. John's handing it off to Georgia on the white team. And PJ gets that locker open, throws that. Oh, he drops the ruler. All right, next contestant on green is up. Let's see, Georgia. What's going on here? All right, Georgia gets her locker open. And our last and final white contestant is up.
Come on.
Oh, looks like another mess up on white. And another mess up on green. And white gets the locker open. White win.
All right, future 7th graders, another aspect of being in middle school is you need to get on class within 3 minutes and also get all your stuff. That's pretty hard. So today we're gonna test 2 people to see if they can plan out their route throughout our school and then see if they can either get there with the least amount of folders and the fastest. See you guys there.
everybody. I'm here with the amazing Ian Hurt. He is a 7th grader, and he's here to talk to you about your assignment notebook and the transitions between classes. So Ian, can you please tell us what is an assignment notebook and what do you use it for in 7th grade?
So your assignment notebook is basically a big calendar that's inside a book, and it allows you to track all of your assignments for your classes and when they're assigned and due. It also allows you to use it as a hall pass. So basically, if you need to leave class to go to the library or to use the restroom, you can give it to your teacher and they can sign you out. And that way they know where you are. And if somebody sees you in the hallways, they can know where you're coming from.
Thanks, Ian. And can you just tell us what it is like transitioning from class to class during the day?
In between classes, you have 3 minutes to prepare yourself. And it doesn't seem like a lot, but it is. It gives you definitely enough time to be able to get to your locker, talk to a friend, or go to the bathroom before the next late bell rings in 3 minutes.
Great. Thank you so much, Ian.
All right, it's Mr. Minsinger again, back to tell you a few more things about the middle school. This slide is really about 3 very simple things that really talk about what we encourage you to do as you transition to the middle school, which is to make the most of everything that goes on at the building. And so be open to new things that you may not have tried before or even thought that you were interested in. Middle school really is that time, ladies and gentlemen, where you get to experiment with different curricular opportunities and extracurricular activities, which I'll show you in a minute. And it's important that you are good to yourself with that too, that you manage your time appropriately, that you give yourself enough time to learn about all of the academic things that you're learning in class while also still exploring some of the fun sides of school. And lastly, take a stand. And what we mean when we say take a stand is to stand up for yourself and be your best advocate. You know the things that you like and you know what it's like whenever you're feeling good about the things that you're doing, and you also know when you're stressed. And it's important that you know that there are people in the building who can help you if you are feeling stressed or overwhelmed. And finally, Pine Richland Middle School is the place to help you create your future. And so to help you with some of those things, we offer a wide variety of extracurricular activities, some of which you see on this slide here. I just want to highlight a few of these. The first one I want to highlight is our PRTV Club. And so that club has really taken off in the past couple years with students who are doing live announcements daily. And they also create special videos for our school and help out with our Rams Way program to make sure that all kids know about respectful, accountable, motivated, and safe behavior. So if you are interested in being behind the camera or in front of the camera, PRTV is the place for you. We also highly encourage students to get involved in student government, which is a great way for you to see exactly what it's like and what it will be like in the high school to be one of your class officers who's responsible for designing some activities, getting feedback from your peers, and become a leader in our school. And then finally, I'll highlight the last one on the right-hand column, which is our National Academic League. And this really is a great competition event that is focused on academics in a competitive manner. There are 4 rounds that range from using your speaking skills to your general knowledge of the world, and I strongly encourage people to consider that as well. All of these clubs that are on this list, though, are fantastic opportunities for you to get involved in, and you can see more about each of these activities in our handbook. And then on the other side of extracurricular activities, we have our athletics. As you can see, we have a lot of different athletics to offer in the fall, winter, and spring. Please take advantage of these opportunities. They're great ways to keep you physically fit and active, and it's also a great way to build teamwork and team building skills with your peers that you'll get to see from now through high school and who you might be playing on the same teams with for the next few years. So take advantage of these opportunities. We have some really great teams like our football team, our basketball team, and our baseball teams, as well as some of the other events that you see on here with track and field. and cross country. All of these opportunities are really great for students, and we encourage you strongly to get involved in these to make yourself the most well-rounded student that you can be.
Hey, Pine Richland, I'm here with the wonderful Sam Heckert. He is a 7th grade student. Not only is Sam a great guy and great student, he is also a hardworking athlete, and he is here to talk to you about sports. Sam, take it away.
In Pine Richland, there is 3 seasons of sports: fall, winter, and spring. In these seasons, Pine Richland has so much to offer. And for an example, I play football in the fall, basketball in the winter, and baseball in the spring. You don't have to play since you were a young age in some of these sports. For example, volleyball, track, and even cross country is a good way to stay fit and just have fun, even if you haven't played. And Pine Richland focuses a lot on teamwork, and these sports can help you to make new friends and just enjoy having fun and being outdoors.
Awesome. Thanks so much for your time, Sam.
Yep, no problem.
So throughout this presentation, you've been hearing some of our current 7th grade students answering some frequently asked questions. And so I wanted to take a chance just to sum up a few of our most frequently asked questions for you. So the first one of those is, what do I do when I'm absent? When you're absent, we understand for certain medical reasons you might not be able to come to school, and your teachers are very okay with that. What we ask that you do in those cases is check your online learning platforms that are used in those classes. So at the middle school, we have 2 of those. First is called Blackboard, and the second is called Google Classroom. And your teachers will get you used to those platforms during the first couple weeks of school. With those 2 platforms, it's really important that you also communicate with your teachers. Don't expect them to come to you every time that you might be absent and ask you for the missing work or get you caught up. We really want you to take it upon yourself to go to your teacher and to ask them what you missed during the time that you were absent. Another key question that we get is, what do I do if I get lost? And we want you to know that someone is always there to help you find your way. Any teacher would be happy to point you in the right direction, and you can always go to the front office or to the guidance office, which is located right next to the cafeteria, if you happen to need some direction. And the last one that I'll mention is, what if I'm not in any classes with my friends? And sometimes that does happen as you transition from Eden Hall. And so we have 4 points of advice for you on that. The first one is to be friendly and meet new people. There are tons of great kids in Pine Richland, and even if you weren't friends with them before 7th grade, there's always new chances now to become friends with some new people. And a good way to do that is to be a good listener. Everybody likes being listened to and heard. So be that person for somebody else. And don't hesitate to get involved in extracurricular activities as well. That's another great way to find friends who are going to have the same interests as you. And finally, and we will say this to you over and over again during your time at the middle school, be yourself. That's the best way to make authentic friendships, because when you are exactly who you are with other people, you'll find the friends that will be lasting and that will stick with you for years and years to come, whether they happen to be in your classes or not.
Hi, everybody. I'm here with Luke Jancy. He is 7th grader extraordinaire, and he is going to talk to us about academic support and also the amount of homework that is given to an average 7th grader. Hi, Luke. Can you please tell us what you do in academic support every day?
Academic support is like a study hall where you have time to get all your homework done. All the core teachers are available, and it's a great time to go to the library and the computer lab.
Excellent. Thanks, Luke. And you will have academic support for 40 minutes every day if you do not participate in band, chorus, or orchestra. Luke, can you just tell me, how much time do you spend on an average night doing your homework?
An average night I spend about an hour. Some days I have a little bit more, and some days I have a little bit less.
Awesome. Where do your teachers post their homework at?
Most of them post their homework on Google Classroom and Blackboard.
Excellent. Thanks so much for your time, Luke.
All right. So without me talking too much more upcoming 7th graders, I just wanted to introduce a series of videos that some of our teachers have made to showcase a little bit of what you're going to experience in some of the subject areas that you'll have next year. And so you'll see a video from our English teachers, our social studies teachers, and a little intro about science from some of our former students. You'll also see a taste of our unified arts classes, and you're going to see a little highlight of what band, orchestra, and chorus look like at the middle school. So take a look at these. They'll give you a little bit of an introduction to what these courses will be like, and I hope you enjoy what you see.
Hello, future middle school students. I'm Noah Moscala, Pine Richland's roaming reporter. Today we are going to investigate 7th grade life science. Now let's get started. I see that your unit is called the microbiome. Can you please tell me what you're studying?
We are studying about the scale of living things from the smallest cell to the largest cell, and our job is to learn all we can to support money for research of the human microbiome. And to do this, we need to learn about our microbiome, like the organisms which live in our digestive system, and we need to gather information on both good and bad bacteria and how they work to help us stay healthy. Our final assignment was to write a press release to inform the public of how important the issue is.
Thank you for taking the time to speak with me. Well, let's move on to the next one. We understand that you have been working as a medical intern. What are you trying to solve, and what does metabolism have to do with it?
We're trying to solve how the body systems work in your human body, and metabolism has to do with it because of if you have the right metabolism going on in your body, then all of your body systems will be functioning properly and everything will be working fine and you won't have sicknesses or any problems.
Thank you for taking the time to speak with me today. Those are some unusual creatures behind you. How do they relate to what you're studying?
When australopes, carnithons, and thorn palms are all in the same environment, it becomes survival of the fittest. We are using these creatures to figure out why some newts in Oregon have become more poisonous and how we can track their poison levels over time.
Thank you for answering these questions I have about this topic. I heard that this unit is about planning to live on other planets. Is it possibly like the book and movie The Martian?
Well, to live on Mars, we actually need to first figure out how to live on Earth. So the biodome is a recreation of Earth that's supposedly to last 100 years. However, the people who were living in it as a test and the living things inside of it were starting to fail, and us ecologists are trying to find out the reason.
Thank you for taking the time to speak with me. Wow, I understand you are an engineering intern. This is a fantastic location to work. What's your project?
My project is a Futuro bar, which is designed for the two groups, rescues and patients, who have been affected by a natural disaster. And we have to design it based on 3 criterion: cost, taste, and needs of users. And it ties in with our metabolism unit that we did in the past.
Thank you for providing insight on this lesson. Oh, a spider. What's this all about?
Well, these spiders are part of the unit of traits and reproduction, in which we use a computer simulation to model how scientists use the traits of spiders and make them reproduce to have the offspring have certain traits. One specific trait that we use throughout the unit is silk, and we learn how we can make it more elastic and stronger and even change the texture.
Thank you for taking the time to come out today and answer these questions.
All right, I'm Mr. Thompson. I'd like to welcome you guys to 7th grade social studies here at the middle school.
Mrs. Harris-Crowe, Mr. Paul are going to be presenting here in just a few moments, but I wanted to talk to you guys about what you're going to experience here at the middle school. In particular, we're going to be taking what you guys have already learned and expanding upon it. So Mesopotamia, Greece, ancient Egypt, as well as Rome. We're going to take a lot of those foundational ideas and expand upon them into topics such as the Middle East, Africa, India, China, and Japan. And we're going to look at that through a cultural dynamic as well as a historical dynamic. In addition to that, we're going to be doing a lot of writing and really delve into what those cultures can bring to us today within our society.
Hello, I am Mr. Paul. I'll be one of your 7th grade social studies teachers next year. Welcome to the middle school. Next year, the middle school, especially 7th grade, uses Blackboard, which is an online version of your classes. You'll have access to notes, to rubrics, to study guides and class materials. We also introduce and will be able to use Google Classrooms, where you can turn in assignments virtually and have access to them anywhere you have access to Google. 7th grade also works with the English department, your ELA teachers, to work on a research project where you are trying to prove that your topic is the most important in the history of that culture or time period that it took place. It will involve creating a thesis statement, research, in-text citations, bibliography, amongst many other skills. We will work on this as well as document-based question essays, where you read and analyze primary and secondary sources, again develop a thesis, and then try to prove it using the research and the documents that are provided. Welcome to 7th grade. We look forward to seeing you next year.
Hi boys and girls, welcome to the middle school. I'm Mrs. Harris-Crowe. I'm one of the 7th grade social studies teachers, and I'm here to talk about The Breadwinner because that was all they left me. The Breadwinner is a novel that will tie ELA and social studies together, and I think that you'll find the experience very rewarding as you learn to analyze and make connections with literature. Have a great summer.
Welcome, future 7th graders. This is your English department. I am Mr. Conti.
I'm Mrs. Bob.
And I am Mr. Prusi. Let me tell you a little bit about how 7th grade is going to be different from 6th grade. In 7th grade, there's going to be more writing. We're very writing focused in English. Several multi-paragraph essays, TDAs per 9 weeks. A lot of short answer and creative writing as well. There's going to be more reading. We'll have analysis of short stories, plays, articles, poems. And in terms of grammar, we'll also kick that up a notch. You'll be identifying, analyzing, and applying varied aspects of grammar to your writing.
Some other aspects that will be different in 7th grade from what you've been used to before are midterms and finals. Our midterms are going to be 2-part with a writing component as well as a typical test, and the finals will just be the 1-part usual test focusing on everything we learned this year. We're also going to work very closely with the social studies department as well as your reading classes, and we'll do a lot of interdisciplinary units. Lastly, those interdisciplinary units are going to culminate with one big research paper where we review how to use MLA citation as well as complete a works cited page.
In addition to the reading and writing that you'll be doing this year, another important component of the English 7 curriculum is doing projects. And of course, who doesn't like to do projects? So many of the projects that we do are going to obviously tie into the literature that we've read. All of the projects also will have a written component. Now, what kind of projects would these be? Well, oftentimes we try to allow students to have as much autonomy, as much freedom to create the different types of projects that they choose. We really try to find personal connections between students' interests and the literature so that students can explore that literature in a meaningful way to them. So oftentimes we'll have videos, we'll have posters, we'll have paintings, we'll have original pieces of writing, and as I said, all of these projects connect in some way to the literature, and they also require students to do some writing. Ultimately, what this accomplishes is a way for you to connect with the literature in a way that's important to you, and also analyze those texts just as you would analyze them for the different types of writing that you do earlier in the year.
Future students, we could not be more excited to see you next year. It is literally impossible. Have a great rest of the year and a fantastic summer.
Hey, sixth graders, my name is Mr. Prusi. I'm one of the seventh grade English teachers, and I just wanted to say welcome to the middle school. We're looking forward to having you, and it's going to be a fantastic year. So we will see you in the fall, and have a great summer.
138 and.
Hi, I'm here with Bria Willie, one of our current seventh graders. And Bria is going to talk about the extracurricular activities that are offered at the middle school. So Bria, what extracurricular activities does the middle school offer?
The middle school offers a lot of middle school activities, after school activities, extracurricular activities, like things like the National Academic League, Chamber Orchestra, the Chamber Singers, Drama Club, Ecology Club, Jazz Band, Leaders Club, Newspaper Club, or like the newspaper, Student Government, Women's Ensemble, and the Yearbook Club.
What extracurricular activities did you participate in?
I participated in the musical drama club, and it was really fun. I met a lot of new people. I connected with a lot of eighth graders, and I would have done chamber singers, but I wasn't able to because I wasn't in choir.
Awesome. Well, thank you for this information. I appreciate it.
You're welcome.
This slide concludes our presentation for you today, upcoming seventh graders. We are so excited to have you as a part of our Pine Richland Middle School family starting next year. We can't wait to spend the year with you to see how you grow and develop as young adolescents. And at the bottom of the screen, you're going to see our big challenge to you, which is to dare to dream. That's our theme for next school year. And we ask you to do just that. Dare to dream about the possibilities that are in front of you. Dare to get involved in those extracurricular activities, the ones that you think about, that you feel really good about, and maybe some of the ones that maybe you don't feel so good about, just to see how it goes and to take those risks that might pay off in the end. And so I'll leave you with this. You can contact myself or Dr. Christophic at any point if you have questions about what it's like at the middle school. Unfortunately, we could not welcome you at the end of May like we were planning to on ground. And please look forward to any communications from us over the summer about having the building open so that you can come in and see it and stop by and say hi. Until then, I wish you all well. And again, we cannot wait to see you next school year. We're excited for all of the things that you'll be doing with us next year. Take care.
As you guys just saw, the green and white team battled against each other and it turned out as a tie. So in that case, I'd like to thank everybody on the green and white team for their participation and also everybody behind the scenes as branded on the camera. And just thank you. So hope to see you guys in 7th grade next year.